Right. Hey, folks. I'm Tina Hui with Follow the Coin, and we actually have somebody calling in, Marshall Long from Final Hash. I mean, you should just introduce yourself and tell us where you are right now with that spotty internet.
Yeah, so I'm in Shenzhen actually right now. Just finished up a really cool conference. I'm actually sitting in the airport lobby right now. Got to get on the call with the famous Tina Fey, right?
We appreciate it. We're in Vegas, waiting for CES to happen. So,
Yeah,
countdown to
right
the New
on.
Year's.
hmm
So tell me what's the big news over there with BTC and Bitcoin over in China?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting conference. It wasn't really focused around Bitcoin at all. Everybody kind of friends.
Oh, there. Okay, you're
Uh,
back. Sorry, I cut out for
yeah, great.
a sentence.
Hit or miss Chinese internet. There you go. So this conference was really interesting. It's a new currency called e-gold, EGB, and I spoke at this conference to talk about kind of the tech behind it. Um, so this currency that a lot of really big government folks and are all actually okay with this one. It's a centralized currency. It doesn't do mining. It's only proof of stake. Um, and the market cap right now is already over $1 billion on a China market.
That's
So
insanity.
uh, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
They're gunning pretty hard now that the government is kind of like, okay, we're okay with it. It's kind of a big deal. And we started a new thing called it's United Nations Science and Technology Organization. So that's a new thing they've got going.
What is that about?
Yeah, great question. Pretty much, uh, it's actually a hard question to answer. It's if you're in crypto and you do a lot of work in Asia, it's kind of your thing. So it's an invite-only kind of thing. You can check out the Final Hash Twitter feed. I got a picture of a couple of the buttons up here, so it's very interesting because coming here, there was a lot of it was 2,500 people plus over 100 government officials versus the Eagle team. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I mean, why do you think China's government is okay with this cryptocurrency in particular?
So this one is heavily controlled. I will say that. So all the folks that are, big kind of super uber decentralized fans, I can just hear mad bitcoins in the back of my head saying, no, no, no. But, decentralized completely is not a great use case for everybody.
Why
China
is
is
it a
the
great
great
use
example of
case?
that. So you have to understand the Chinese government. So, they're really about controlling things, which is why they don't really like Bitcoin. Um, but this currency not being mineable, they have a little bit more control over it. It's almost stakeable, um, and it's somewhat open source. You can check out the source on GitHub, but overall, a lot of the details are still kind of locked down by them. So, but it's still very useful because you can transact money quickly, just like you can with any other crypto. Um, but this one's kind of like Chinese government blessed, so it's a rare occurrence.
That is rare. You know that actually last night some news broke in finance about the Chinese National Bank or some bank in China. It's massive. I need to double check and see what the name of it was. They actually have are gonna give Russia the loan, I guess. And so,
Great.
right?
Yeah. So we didn't. We you kind of have to watch how you approach conferences in China because at Actors United in Vegas or at Cornerton or Inside, we can say whatever we want, right? Um, Here it wasn't really censored, but we have to be sensitive of kind of the cultural boundaries, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So that's a big part of why a lot of crypto people in the States have trouble getting in big in Asia because, if you just look at Twitter, you got too many people that are too and they'll never work for them in Asia. So, um, no, it's if you want to check that out, the market is actually EGB Market, the number four, the letter U. So EGBmarketforyou.com.
We'll have to
Um,
do that. Can we
that's
provide a link
pretty
to
crazy.
folks, maybe?
Yeah, no problem. and they're actually actively working on getting it listed in the U.S. So there'll be a USD trading pair if everything kind of goes according to plan next coming months. So, um, you reach out to me on Twitter. Of course, we gotta let Tina Hui break the story, right?
Yes, we love it. We love the story. And you got to tell
So
us, I mean, there's a lot of activity from Bitcoin and crypto in Asia alone, right?
that's
Like,
right.
let's talk
So
about the fact that there's always a ton of activity there from the blockchain.
right. So it's interesting because for a country that hates it so much, there's a lot of people doing it. Um, so I met with one of our current clients actually in Shenzhen last night before we had dinner over there. And he runs a huge farm. He's got about 20 megawatts in Sichuan. He's got quite a bit of hash rate. I'd say about 5% of the network. Um, and you know, they don't have a problem because they've got cheap power, they've got hydroelectricity, and they're in the middle of nowhere. So outside of somebody chopping their Ethernet connection to the farm, they mine and they sell either to us or they sell their coins to any number of places. So it's an interesting dichotomy because you kind of have the government. It's kind of like, oh, we don't see that Bitcoin crap. And it's really disruptive, and that's not what the Chinese government's about at all.
What do they think it's about, in your opinion?
Chinese government's all about controlling what goes on, which is why this gold is kind of a big deal for them.
But you could see there's a lot of Bitcoin enthusiasts in Asia and China,
Oh,
right?
huge. A lot of things. You just have to know how to work with the government, and a lot of folks can't. So that's the limitation, I think.
Actually, Marshall, we accidentally lost you when you said it was huge, a huge amount of interest.
Yeah, so there's a ginormous interest here in Bitcoin, and I think just in crypto in general, because you've got a lot of underserved population here. But with Bitcoin specifically, a lot of big mines here, a lot. Half of them are our customers. You got most of the hardware manufacturers here. But a big problem you got is it's a lot harder to get fiat from Bitcoin.
Mm.
But they still find ways. So, and a big reason of that is because the government is not about to let currency run wild, which is why they can lean towards the centralized business model.
So if you're willing to be centralized, then you could do business with China, in essence.
Pretty much, you kind of have to work with Big Brother, or you're not going to get far. So.
Well, thank you for giving us the rundown. I mean, what else have you noticed about being over there in the convention? Are people more conservative? Are they more kind of libertarian?
I will say there was an undertone. There was an undertone of people really wanting to talk about, I would say, Bitcoin, but nobody did. There was also an undertone of people trying to express their grievances, but of course, when you got a bunch of big government bosses there, you can't say whatever you want to say. So it was a very interesting and different convention, I would say. It was actually tucked away in the mountains of Shenzhen. It was pretty cool. A lot of people, a lot of different people, and I think it's actually progressive. A lot of people would disagree with that, but you got to take big steps here in Asia.
Right. No, it's going to be interesting to see how Asia plays a part. Since they are dominating a little bit of the activity in crypto
Right.
and in finance all the time. So,
Yeah.
and gambling,
Right.
of course. Macau is really big.
Macau. Let's not go there.
I think the statistics are that in Macau, when 1 month of activity in Macau equals a whole year's worth of activity in gambling here in Vegas.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So,
yeah, Macau's like Vegas on steroids. So it's like Bitcoin's dollar as Vegas to Macau.
that's
So
pretty nuts.
it's really interesting.
Very interesting. Well, thanks for giving us the update. I mean, anything else we should know?
I mean, there's always new stuff to know, but I can't be giving you all the goodies just yet,
Oh, come on. You know me. I always pry.
Oh,
Yeah, well, we'll catch up with you back when you're not a fuzzy pixel and back on American soil with good internet, I guess, or stronger internet at the
sure.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Marshall.
Okay, great.
Have a safe flight
Sounds
home.
good. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, guys.